Good evening and welcome to tonight's episode of Eat, Crit and Survive, where a bunch of people gather in different locations to play some Dungeons and Dragons whilst turtles are being indicated and tortured.
Just got this lovely new robe, so I'm not going to take it off for at least a day. Got to
Is it
wear
a robe
it.
of useful items?
I wish it was a robe of useful items. It's only got one pocket.
Oh.
Useless.
It's a robe of foam.
I didn't even want one, but I was in Milton Keynes and they were on sale.
You're in Milton Keynes and you didn't just drive by? Outrageous.
Because you don't live anywhere near the shopping centre.
You're close to Bletchley, bless you.
Yeah.
I always remember how far away Ross lives every time I have to go around and do his boiler. I get halfway there and I'm like,
surely I'm here.
man, this is far.
It takes 10 minutes to get everywhere in Milton Keynes. So
Yeah.
That's because you spend half the time driving around in fucking circles.
Yeah. Just too many roundabouts, bro.
it's the way of the future. Roundabouts everywhere.
What, round in circles?
I think they should start installing them like on site on like pavements and like inside shopping centres
Shops.
and everything, yeah.
What I did have was...
social distancing roundabouts. I like it.
What I did have, you have to give way to the person that's coming to you from the right. It's fine.
Yep.
What I did have was, I was working in Milton Keynes for a bit, never rail. I did, one of the guys out there had Tesla. I mean, he took me out for a drive in it one day to go to the shop, which was literally like a 2-minute walk away, but he wanted to show off. So he was just showing the pure acceleration you can get from 0 to basically 70 in about a second or so between the roundabouts.
Right.
It's like, ah! Okay.
Unnecessary.
It was a little bit, but there we go. Oh, dear. Anyway,
Presumably it had quite.
You know what's really unnecessary? Buying a Tesla.
other cars are available.
You know what's completely unnecessary? Buying a robe just because it's on sale.
Yeah, you're right. At least I am man enough to admit it.
Yes, Connor, known as the conservative of his with his money, he does not waste a single penny.
I am so frugal with my spending.
It's looking for the most expensive.
Why do I just... No, I'm just pushing them back so they don't...
I was going to say, just hide all your gemstone dice you bought recently.
No, I really didn't need this gooseneck thing to hold my phone while I play D&D, but yeah, I have it.
Last week.
You just want something to strangle if your dice go poorly. Just throttle it.
Now I don't even have to look down at my character sheet. I just have to rotate slightly in my chair.
Looks like they're across. Have you got Cedric, Ross, and Connor? Have you got one of Kelatar Bruce?
I got Kalatar.
Oh, why not?
Yes,
Why not?
I knew there was something. You messaged me, and I saw it at 3 o'clock in the morning last night, and I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to reply to that.
That was appreciated. No, wait, they just didn't reply to it at all. But I mean, it sounds like it's going to be
because now I've only just remembered that I should have replied to it. I'll do it now.
Okay, I'll wait effectively.
I mean, I double thumbs up. It was one for me, one for Connor. So
yeah, it was assumed consent. Anyway, so if we're all ready, let us begin. Where we left off last time, the Wandering Stars had made their way, back to various places, made themselves back to Alpine, and had conversations, some travel, some preparations, founding, showed off their many arms. Various bits of mechanics were done. I've missed the coast entirely. And you left your refugees and set off going to the next place of your adventure, where you decided the best place for you to go was to an island where the Medusa, the original Medusa, was residing.
Ooh, the original? What? Is there like copycats?
No, in D&D there is a monster known as the Medusa, which is really annoying because there's also another creature called a Gorgon, which is what a Medusa is. We'll get into the mythology of it another time.
Cool.
But in order to get to the island of Scathos, you flew to the swamp of Rancor, the jungle of Rancor, where Kelatar's dragon departed. Cedric II remains behind at the keep because he was in no fighting state to do fucking anything. Barely could get a paper cut without dying.
But the wizard is going to fix him up good.
Wizard is going to fix him. And you also left Nuala behind. But you set off. heading towards Allport, where you sat down and met Stumpy, the kobold, who, the gnoll, who was without his legs and was a little bit insane, but was apparently a survivor of Scathos, the island, which is the home of Medusa. He and his kobold assistant Widget joined you upon your vessel for the heavy cost of 75 copper pieces. And you set off and spent a bit of flying for the next couple of days and made your way to Scathos, which is where we pick up. So you're looking down on Scathos, the collapsed dormant volcano, right in the center of it, sort of teardrop shape as Laura gets comfortable.
Settling in, lads.
3 rings of the island, the exterior sort of beachy and regular jungle plant life ring, a middle ring of petrified trees, and an interior ring where all plant life appears to be petrified and centering in on this dormant volcano. A flow of lava does flow down towards the western side, which seems to be propelling the teardrop further away from land and just moving around the various parts of the coast. So, as you sit at the top of your blimp, what would you like to do?
Rev the engine.
Rev the engine. Background noises.
If we do it enough, she'll come out and go, "Oi, stop being so noisy." And that's how we do it.
Nelly kid. I can't remember if we were like waiting for anything or if we were just gonna like.
No, you literally just got there.
Right. Okay.
Probably look for somewhere to park.
There's plenty of free parking.
Oh, good.
Head down wherever you like.
We spent all our change on the navigation.
I mean, more generally,
Maybe we should search the island from the air and look for any signs of habitation.
How can you see? How big is it? The island.
The island's about 3 miles across.
Okay. How long would that take to do a loop?
Not long at all. It's the ship has got a fly speed of 11 miles an hour, so probably about half an hour or so.
Loop, or do we go straight across?
Spiraling.
Like one of those coins in that charity.
Yes, exactly like that.
It's been loads in years.
And then at the end, we go boop, straight into the volcano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do. Just drop straight in the middle. Yeah, loop. Shall we loop round? Is Lila driving?
Lila is one of the drivers. Well, it probably depends on who you want to be driving at this point, because you've all had to rotate to keep yourself moving constantly.
Yeah.
So otherwise, people get exhausted.
It's like
I just heard a voice of Danny.
Fussing the cat in the background.
All the glare you gave us. It's the mother of your child, God damn it!
No, I was just trying to see what the cat's doing. It was getting near one of my plants, so.
No, just wait till you get a toddler. Just that. When you start playing and you've got a baby monitor and you just sort of set it down and just start looking, just every so often you just see you going.
I should be like, right, hold this shiny rock and then drop it.
Teaching young.
Crit! Yeah, let's keep doing that forever.
Forever. Yes, let's loop this island. See what we can see.
Okay.
Before we get on to the baby talk.
So who is going to be watching? Because you can't watch from inside the cabin. Because okay, so you're going up top. Have a look.
I shall go up top and have a look.
I thought we were all up top right now. Well, obviously
the pilots have to be in the cabin to fly it, but
wasn't Stumpy at the top.
Stumpy was at the top because he's got nowhere else to go, so he might as well sit and navigate from up there. He's got one of those shouting tubes to yell into. Okay, make a perception check, Cedric.
I will hold my shield up to help me focus.
Yeah, you basically use it as like sunglasses. You just hold it above your head. So you've got
I rolled
the shield blocking the
17s, which didn't really make any difference on my advantage, but 27.
27. Okay. You're looking down. There doesn't appear to be any any huge amounts of life of sort of like normal humanoid habitation. There is a clearing that has been made in the center of the island where the volcano is. And you can see from this height that there is a small shelf and something large and square that sits on that shelf. Because the volcano is dormant and has been for so long, the rainwater has settled on top, and it's basically got a basin just in the center of the island itself.
Oh, inside the volcano, sorry, you mean? It's just filled with water.
Yeah, inside the volcano is
Sorry,
because
yeah,
it just pulled over and just sealed on top.
Okay.
How high is the volcano? Or is this in? Do you mean this is
It's
in
been
the ground?
smoking a lot of weed, so it's very high.
The volcano itself has sunken a little bit under its own weight.
But it's still above sea level.
Yeah, the top of the volcano is above sea level. And then the island itself is just, well, at sea level. So
I was picturing it was all sea level and went down.
there's a little bit of, yeah, it's pretty much sea level, well, a little bit of up, then it drops down a little bit from the weight, and then it goes back up again for the peak of the volcano.
Can I see? It's probably going to be really hard, but can I see any sign of like tracks? Does that make sense?
Not from this height.
Okay. Or like any kind of clearing of like the jungle, or I say jungle.
There's various bits of clearing. There's the main one that is in the center that's just around the volcano itself. There are also various open spaces where some trees have collapsed and there's water flowing through, as well as the sort of magma river that's going through on the other side. That seems to have scorched away a bit of the land around it.
Yes.
But in terms of overall clearings, it's not a huge space, and quite a lot of it is covered by overgrown trees, and in some instances where it's just become petrified and solid. Yes, the trees are terrified. No,
I was like, I didn't know if they were frozen or they're stone.
They are stone. Some of the trees from this angle with Cedric's perception, you can see that the bark on some of the wood in the middle ring it's petrified wood rather than just like full-on stone. I'm sorry, is the D&D not interesting enough for you, Ross?
The cat is eating my plant right now.
Is the cat getting high? Told you, Ross, stop planting catnip in your...
Like 2 legs on the sofa, 2 legs on the plant pot, and then just like chewing leaves off the lowest.
Oh yeah, I fully picture it. Just go for it.
No, Ross, just learn to speak cat. So, like, you know, when cats make noises, you've just got to do the same thing. No. No, you don't.
When you say move it, do you mean move the plant or just move the cat? It just goes yeet.
I love the commitment.
So yes, that's what you say.
Yes. Okay, so there are some clearings.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if I don't see much else, I will go back and feed back to everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
That there are some clearings, but mostly no signs of life.
Any caves?
Did I see any caves?
Not from this
I
light.
don't think I saw any caves.
No, you didn't. Cave shelter for living creatures. Not necessarily be you.
Top of the volcano is filled with water, though.
So, where is best to land this thing?
There are a few clearings you could land in.
Alternatively, you can dock down on the beach and just sort of tie it to a tree.
Tie it to a tree?
Well, if the island
The island moves.
Oh yeah, tree's gonna stop a bit.
Gotta come with.
Yeah, it's more the island moves. So.
Oh right, so it'd be like one of those balloons.
Yeah,
that,
they're tethered to
like,
the bank.
advertise the sofa saddle. Right, I get you.
I'd like to start writing out 8 letters that all say the exact same thing. Say, we are just here to ask some questions, and then we will leave if you agree to this, please give this letter back to the method.
Okay. Oh no.
Yep. Worked when we looked for Connor, so why not use it again?
Okay. Sure.
I'm just writing them out in preparation. Then I'm going to ask everyone, once we land.
Okay. You scribble out your 8 letters.
Have we landed yet?
I don't know, I'm just trying to work out what's beeping.
Oh, can you hear the beeping? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's me. You guys can hear it, but I don't think the stream can. So.
Okay.
I think the same thing for Danny. I think you guys can hear Danny, but I don't think the stream can hear Danny. So.
Oh, good. So we're just making up any viewers that we have think that we're insane and we're hearing your why.
Yes. I think so anyway. Because
I've never seen her.
Your cat.
I mean, Connor never has. Every time he comes around to do the boiler, she's never here. So.
Never here.
I've met
4
her,
times I've been around, never seen her. Don't think she exists.
I've got a really good Photoshop photo of Ross and a woman in a white dress.
That was me holding my arm up like I'm holding it around someone. But the
Yeah.
I thought that was you pretending to put your
holding hands and balloons. But anyway.
Doesn't help your argument when your arm disappears when you hold it up.
There's definitely someone
My
here.
arm's not real.
Ross is just a really, really good AI that we've got. Anyway. All right. Letters are written.
What language do you write them in?
Common, I would assume. Why should I? I'm guessing you've just noticed me doing this. And do you know what language she would speak or read? Or
I could only guess. She might speak Common.
I mean, it's called Common for a reason.
The only other languages I can think of she would write and use in particular would be Primordial, possibly, and possibly Deep Speech.
I mean, I can do Primordial. Maybe what I'll start doing is flipping them over and writing the same message in Primordial on the back. There's 3 Primordial languages, though, aren't there? There's the Aquarian
They're
one.
dialects.
Oh, the dialect.
They're
like Klingon.
effectively. I think that's what I've understood.
I don't.
Is that right, Luke?
Yeah, I mean, Primordial does have its 4 primary dialects, but it does have Primordial as an overall language, because I think you understand Primordial as a general language.
Yeah.
It's like, having Geordie as a separate language. Still,
That is a separate language.
And sending this in Deep Speech wouldn't work because Deep Speech has no written language.
Just angry scribbles.
Instead. Just realizing that Leela has languages written on her character sheet, but it's slightly different because you change races.
But I don't actually know them.
Why don't you lean into your camera to say that the microphone's here?
No, I lean in as if I was like whispering to the camera.
Yeah.
You know a few words in Goblin.
You do.
Yeah, because Cedric told me some. I mean,
I don't know if you could really have it on your character sheet as a language you know, but you know some words.
some words to get me through. If I shout them loud enough, they'll understand me.
Do you speak Goblin?
Yes. Oh shit! I don't.
Ah, damn it.
Right. Okay. So these writing things.
Yeah, I was thinking if I had an idea to go out on Bink with me covered and her looking, because I'm not sure she can be turned to stone. I don't know. She's not a physical body. She's a soul possessing pieces of metal. So I don't know. Well, then I remember that we used this when looking for Asher, and I can just summon those 8 tiny elementals. And
Oh, well, that means my throne wouldn't get turned to stone either.
yeah, well, I mean, I don't exactly know what happened to them. They are physical beings from another dimension, so...
My drone's just mechanical.
Hello.
Hey, baby!
Oh my god!
He's come in, he's literally just laid in the
Just exploded into the room.
Yeah.
Cold.
That was an entry.
Matt, you born in a barn?
Roll initiative.
Dude, it's fine. We're literally just talking about what we're going to do on the fence. It's fine. Chill.
Game Calatar.
I
No,
said that
you
kind
just
of
see him leave.
jumped off the
We're not
side.
in a fight yet. Leaves the room.
No. In game, Calatar has just burst out of like the shower, and there's like all steam and everything. He's just got his towel around his waist.
No, it's Calatar. Hasn't even got a towel. What?
Yep, there you go.
There's a shower on the Yellowfin ship.
There is now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're monsters,
Why
not
couldn't it be
savages.
the main one? If we're living in it, it's
Put
practically.
internal. Just somehow put plumbing in.
Yeah, basically. Catches rainwater, lets it fall through.
Do you have any idea how dirty a giant brain gets when you don't clean it?
No, I haven't.
Lives in a fish tank.
There's a lot of crevices in there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Not a surface area.
Anyway,
Um,
as Calatar explodes into the room. Ah!
um,
Getting hot now.
I'll close your character sheet now.
Yeah. So
Yeah, can you bring letters?
if everyone is okay with me doing that, I mean, I don't know if anything bad could happen if I try this. Worst thing, they just don't come back. I mean, she's probably hostile. I don't know.
It's worth a try. Although it does also warn her that we're approaching if she doesn't react well.
Yeah, the letters fill her in.
just send her a memo first.
What are you sending in the letter?
We just want to have a word. Then we will leave you be. Give this letter back to the method if this is agreeable. So basically, I'm going to tell them to go find a woman with snakes coming out of her head and hand her the letter. If they don't come back, she's either killed them or just kept the letter. So, or she lies and she gives us back the letter and we fall into a trap. You know, it's all good.
Or she really, really wants to be best friends, but just kills it by accident.
But there are 8.
I'm really sad that she turns everyone to stone. She just wants a friend.
Is it like a Cyclops situation where she isn't wearing her sunglasses and the method turns the corner and she accidentally stone and she's like, oh crap, finally someone came here and they're stone again. Damn it.
Cyclops from X-Men, not just a Cyclops just wandering around. Random Cyclops.
It's canon now. All Cyclopses in D&D are lonely and just want companions.
Aww.
Anyway, so
I just love the expression of Connor's face. Just get on with it, please.
Why am I not hitting anything?
Carter's just enjoying his comfy
Yep,
robe.
I think we should go ahead with this plan at least to start with.
That's what we're going to do, like airdrop them.
They're literally going to go
No, put them back.
hand deliver, I think.
What are we doing? Kavina has written 8 notes and is going to summon some methods and send them off to go and deliver notes to Medusa, saying that we come in peace, essentially, and we chat.
What if she doesn't read primordial?
It's written in common as well.
Oh, you've written in common as well. Okay. I mean,
Primordial.
what if she doesn't speak common and primordial?
Is there a way I could draw a white flag? Like,
Draw a flag
And one a white flag.
it's kind of hard on parchment, you know. There's no such thing as white ink, so.
I don't think. Isn't there a spell which like reveals a message to someone and anyone can read it or something? I'm not good at that.
yes, comprehend language.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking
There's
about.
another way around where you can write a message and then someone else can see it.
There's you can do a thing where you can actually put an audible message into an item and then have it trigger on a certain situation. But
I mean,
you
I'm
can
not
only,
gonna have the spell, but anyway, it's
yeah, I
wait
might.
for another 24 hours then.
We're just gonna camp out here until she gets interested and really wants to know what's going on.
And you realise that you can't fly, so you're slightly stuck. Anyway, so letters written. Are you summoning methods? What kind of methods are you summoning?
I'm gonna do the 8 one, and I don't get to pick, do I, for this spell? It's just, but there's only 3 options, which is mud, steam, and smoke. So, yeah.
This is conjure elemental. Yes.
Yeah, conjure minor elementals. It's 4th level.
Yeah, I got it. Unfortunately, this book does not arrange the spells in order. They do it in alphabetical. You summon elemental. It is an order, yes, it's not that order. I'd say that you summon elementals. You can choose what type you want them to be, as long as they are within the challenge rating.
Oh, yeah, all right. Because, yeah, when I first thought of this spell, I was like, oh, steam and smoke, that fits fee. And then I'm like, oh, crap, every so often I'm just going to get mud ones and look at them and go,
Maybe the second time you use the spell.
Yeah. No, third. This will be the third, because I accidentally used it once as a miscast during the... Oh, that wasn't me. That was the clone. That was the doppelganger. That was fake fee.
Anyway.
Yeah. So, yes,
Back when we had that.
I will summon 4 steam and 4 smokes.
Okay.
Give them a letter each. Hopefully they can hold on to it without it, whatever. And just, tell them what I said before. Please look for a lady with snakes coming out of her head and hand her this letter. And if she gives it back to you, come back to me straight away.
Okay. They take off and scatter around the 4 cardinal points of the island and start moving their way through to have a look around.
Yeah, 30-foot fly and they last an hour, so I'm not sure how much the island 8 of them can cover, but I'm hoping that's enough to find it.
I'm guessing we're too high up for Cedric to like keep an eye on them and see.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
They are very tiny. They're pretty small, so also made of steam and smoke, so not the easiest to see.
Very, very perceptive though.
Get your shield out.
So flying down and going to have a look. Wait for half an hour, 45 minutes, 50 minutes. It gets towards the end of the spell where one sort of hurries back up to one of the smoke methods, holding the smoky letter with a single word that has been added to it.
Ooh.
Come.
Ooh.
Spell it now.
C-O-M-E.
Clarification was very much needed for this party.
Yes, Tom.
Just one method returned.
Just one, yes.
Well, yeah, the others will still be looking up to the end of the time, I guess. I didn't tell them to about face halfway through. Didn't think very well, but yeah.
Or she's killed all the others.
In about 1,000 years' time, someone's just going to be on this island, and there's just going to be a letter, which is just like, we only want to talk, then we'll leave you alone.
Being held by methods.
Yeah,
So,
and they're just going to be like, the hell is going on?
So where is it? Like, hopefully before it blinks out, can it quickly direct me, like tell me conversation wise, because we are able to communicate.
It does say it's in and it vanishes.
By the what?
All I heard
By the vol and it vanishes.
by the volcano, right? Well,
Maybe it was
So
going
what-
to say Volt.
Or Velociraptor.
Volkswagen.
Also Raptor.
I know which one I want it to be.
By all the velociraptors.
Take a left at the T-Rex.
Round the dip.
I guess we got an invite then.
Over the Brompton.
Hope this was a good idea.
Shall I?
Is everyone okay to proceed?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, let's go.
Where we land?
Okay.
Where are we landing? Beach or clearing? Where? We want to go in as close as we can for a shorter journey, or keep the blimp outwards so it's a bit safer.
I would think if the closer we are to the blimp, the safer we are. That'll make it easier for us to escape, right?
So
I think. I don't know, getting back on the blimp might be tricky, but then again, if it's further away, that means it's tricky and takes time to get to. So
Where's Stumpy, by the way?
Stumpy and
no,
they're up at the top.
he can stay up there.
Right, so now we're an NPC. You don't like one that Connor doesn't like.
Well, that you don't like. You don't like Stumpy.
I like Stumpy.
Like,
I just want to make sure it's mentioned, but when we land and I'm on solid ground, I am going to summon Bink and then cover my head with a robe and have Bink follow everyone else.
Okay.
I'm scared.
You do have your sunglasses that Lee lent you. Basically a welding mask.
Yeah. Well, I'll definitely keep those on, but I have no idea what that'll do. So I'm more interested in a full cover. Bink can be my eyes.
Okay.
So what was the closest clearing to the volcano?
There was a clearing around the volcano itself. Or you can just sort of dog down.
You
On
go there
beach.
once?
Yes.
We might as well get as close as we can, and then we don't have to trek as far.
To the clearing.
Okay, so the ship starts to float down. You just hear Stumpy go
Jesus Christ.
into the thing, so it just comes straight out into the cabin. I've disappeared. What's happened?
The camera's
Disappeared.
There with.
and you're back.
Oh, weird. Strange.
Check one. I'm just checking my microphone. Okay, I think it's fine. Thank you. Bye bye.
Cedric got a microphone. So I'm just checking it.
Well, I just thought I'd take this opportunity to make sure that I can actually be heard on the stream.
It's fair.
Oh, you're really loud now.
Am I?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad thing particularly, but it's just...
Oh, okay. Maybe it's just picked up the right microphone. Oh, there it is. Oh.
Oh, sorry, that'd be me just checking my audio. Checking my audio.
It's like, God, there's two of them. Stop.
Okay, we good. Okay, we good. Thanks, everyone, for this technical interruption. And
I'm making that into a sound bite and putting it in a little thing I can press.
Oh, God, there's two of them.
Yeah.
There's the two of them.
So, we go to the clearing.
Yeah.
You go to the clearing and you land, well, you don't land, but you sort of are floating above the tree line. There's enough space for you to sort of put the blimp so that you can let a ladder down.
A lot of rope to tie to the island.
Tied to a nearby tree.
Yeah.
This area, the entire land is petrified. Everything that you see is completely solid. And as you sort of get into this area, you can see that there are tiny statues of mice, rabbits, other small critters that are littered amongst the bushes and solid grass. You can see various other bits of wildlife as well up in the trees. There are owls and other birds that are solidified. Yes?
Ross, I have a question.
Oh, sorry, Ross.
well, I didn't want to interrupt your thing, but I just wanted to make sure I got this in there. Before anyone touches the ground, can I just, like, pluck a mushroom off me and just drop it onto the ground itself? I don't know if we already have touched the ground, to be honest. But I
No, you're still floating.
Okay, I just want to make sure that you don't get insta-petrified when you touch this area of land, basically.
Okay. Mushroom hits the ground.
Still looks like a normal mushroom.
Still looks like a mushroom, but as you sort of look at it, you just see a large three-headed cobra snake its way and then start to peck at the mushroom with its three heads.
Okay.
Before it then slithers away.
The bad thing that I thought was going to happen didn't happen, but just a different bad thing happened. We need to make sure we watch out for the three-headed cobras.
Thanks. But yes, as you're looking around, you can see that there are.
If you're talking to us, you're muted. Wow.
Nope.
Is he just bailing because he's not talking to us? Or he was talking to us and now he's trying to call the bluff that he wasn't talking to us?
You don't know.
So, are you guys descending into the clearing?
Yeah.
All right, Kalatar jumps down.
Right in there.
Kalatar pops down. Look around. Cobra! No. You can see now that you're in this area where the volcano sits, there is this band just before you get to the base of the volcano. You can see that there is a throne that is set there. throne itself is carved from stone with many sharp angles, but you can sort of see now that it's actually formed of the writhing and intertwined bodies of hundreds of individuals that have been petrified into various interlocking shapes. There are hundreds of other bodies that are petrified in various other places, including 4 small weird elemental things that are holding letters. They're called petrified. It's like in the chat.
I'm never casting that spell again.
Good thing you sent 8, really.
Yeah, only one of them survived the save. They all got there about the same time, and one of them succeeded on the save. The other 3 of them got eaten by snakes. But you can also see that there is a gentle magma flow off to the right-hand side, and a lightly warmed stream that is flowing off into the forest on the left.
Okay.
Make a Constitution saving throw for me. Sorry, Wisdom saving throw.
Everyone.
No, just Kaltar, because he's the only one that's on the surface at the moment.
A which?
Wisdom.
Oh, okay. It's 4 long. Number 1. Oh, now if you did, I'd be wrong. 19.
19, okay. You start to feel this thirst starting to come over you, because you're feeling the area around you is warm. Obviously, from the volcano, there's quite a lot of heat that's given off, and you start to feel as if it's sort of desiccating your throat a little bit. You sort of swallow it down a little bit and lubricate, and you feel okay.
I tell the rest of the group this feeling has come off.
Okay. Dom, that might be you.
I don't know what that is.
No, but it flashed up on Dom's around Dom's screen.
Last time. Second time.
Yes,
Thank
Ross,
you,
that
Ross.
one.
That one.
Danny, poor Danny, if that's how you kiss Ross.
It is. I was there at the wedding. Sorry, the wedding.
Oh yeah, it didn't happen.
Yeah. Except I didn't see it the entire time. I just saw bacon rolls and people getting angry. There wasn't a vegan option. Anyway, Kalsar is the only one that is on the land at the moment.
I jumped down there with him.
Okay, you jump down.
I start making my way towards the throne.
Make your way towards the road. Anyone else coming down?
I'll come down.
I will just keep an eye out for now.
Oh, there, that's you, Dom. Your microphone's, the connection's a bit funny.
That's definitely, yeah.
That was Dom. So we'll let Dom worry about that for a second.
Your audio options are brought to you by Ecrit and Survive.
Come on, guys.
So, are you all on the ship now? On the ground? Can everyone make a wisdom saving throw, please? That hasn't done so already.
Apart from myself. I'm still watching.
What? You're not down, okay. So are you at the top? Are you at the top looking down, or are you looking out the door?
I'm looking out the door.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, I think so. I think we've all gone to the door. Everyone else gone down. I'm just stood at the door, just surveying the land.
Okay. Thank you.
27.
27 from Asher.
8 from me, sorry.
8, okay.
Wow.
If they've jumped down, are they not next to me?
That's 6 from you, family. Okay.
Because they're close.
That's true. You've got down before them. We'll say sure. Everyone apart from Kalatar gets +5.
Roll again.
Sorry?
Got to roll again?
No.
Oh.
17 from Leela. 13 from Gafina. 11 from Foundling. Was it 29 from you, Tom?
With the +5, it will be 26.
26, and then 24 from Asher.
It was 27.
27.
Whatever. It's over the DC. So Katrina, Leela, and Foundling. Try me now.
Try my mic.
I will ask to unmute.
Oh.
Right.
He's alright. He's just speaking. What is it in Harry Potter? What's the snake language?
Passport time.
Fast tongue. Thank you. Yes, fast tongue.
Speaking
That's what I meant.
Anyway, so Leela, Foundling, and Kafina, the three of you find yourselves feeling unbelievably thirsty. You have an intense desire to drink.
I don't know. What if I jump back on the rope ladder? Let's start.
You jump back onto the rope ladder. No, you still feel it. You still
Right.
feel this intense urge to drink. There is a river off to your left-hand side.
Yeah, because I'm going to trust that.
Not have water skins.
Oh, yeah. Bit
I think
funny.
it's part of sort of general issue kit.
Yeah, of course. She'll take a drink, but this
Okay.
might not
You
just be.
grab
solved
the
with one
water.
drink.
You grab the water skin, and it is not enough to
Doesn't do it. Yeah.
quench your thirst.
I will come. Do I witness some distress from everyone, or not really?
You see Leela sort of go jump on the rope ladder and it's not working. And Kafina and Foundling are the same. You can see Foundling's gill sort of flapping a little bit, trying to get more water in.
I'm going to take a different solution and just put one of my sour sweets in my mouth to try and distract my mouth.
All that happens is your mouth goes.
Spit that out loud.
If anything, makes it slightly worse.
I will drop down.
Make a wisdom save throw.
27.
Okay. You're fine.
And then, can
Cool.
I ascertain as to what might have caused this?
Make a medicine check.
Sure. Gladly.
Ages.
19?
19. Okay. You sort of study them, and you can't really see much that's affecting them physically, other than the sort of recloring of throat trying to get that on. This could well be some sort of regional effect, or some sort of weird effect that's happening, something magical. Or
I'm gonna just try something. It's probably not gonna work, but I'll give it a punt. I will go, here, everyone, eat some of these. And I'll just open up my hands and there will be some good berries in there.
Hey. I haven't seen that spell for a while.
Eat one berry. And it will give you enough nourishment to sustain a creature for 1 day. Which may or may not help.
Okay. The three of you take a berry.
I mean, everyone else can eat one as well if you want it. It creates like 10 of them, so.
Yeah. You each gain 1 hit point. The thirst does subside somewhat. You don't feel hungry anymore, but there is still that something that's drawing you towards the river to take a drink from it.
It's evil.
Just nuke the river.
If I expend 5 of my lay on hands on Leela, does that resolve anything at all?
So you're using
Cure a disease, neutralize a poison affecting the creature.
Okay. You put your hands upon her shoulder and just sort of transfer a little bit of divine energy. Doesn't have any effects. It doesn't appear to be a poison or disease.
Guys, it's getting really warm in here. Is anyone else feeling really warm? I'm really thirsty. Like, I'm going to run out of water soon. Like, oh God, why is no one else suffering?
Family is, but suffering in silence. Although Dom's not muted anymore, so you might be able to.
Am I not?
No,
Hey, we can hear you now.
you're fine.
Okay.
Guessing I can move.
I can participate. Yay.
You play D&D again. The longer this goes on, the more that you're being drawn towards the river to take a drink.
Let's just go meet her quickly, and hopefully, when we get away from the island, the effect will wear off.
Sure.
I'm gonna try drinking a healing potion. I don't know if that will help, but if my gills are feeling sore and dry, it might.
Okay, you take a drink of your healing potion. It restores any hit points that you have lost, but does not soothe the. It doesn't soothe the sort of ragged, cracked interior of your throat that you have, but it doesn't actually help this desire to drink.
Guys, that river's looking good, and I don't trust it. Let's go. If we walk a bit further, it might disappear. Let's just keep going.
I walk, but I keep my hand on Leela's shoulder.
Okay.
I would
If
just
push comes to shove, I can just pick her up.
Okay.
I'd like to try going at top speed away from the river.
Okay. Where are you running?
Away.
Away.
100 feet every 6 seconds away from the river. Yeah.
Okay. If you're like you've got to go towards the lava, or into the forest.
Oh, yeah.
Into the forest.
Okay, you just dash.
This bit about a lot of snakes.
Yeah, and as you rush off into the forest, there are a lot of snakes watching you. There are 3-headed cobras. There are big fucking snakes just sort of watching. There's winged snakes that just sort of fly
All
across
the
your.
bad ones. They all sound poisonous.
They're all watching you with great intent as you run through the forest on your own. Everyone else going in the other direction.
Do I feel any better for getting further from the river?
No. If anything, you're more thirsty because you've just exuded yourself running.
Yes.
Am I the only one who wants
Snake
just
and
like
drink its blood.
Sorry?
just well,
No, that was out of character, but I was going to kill a snake and drink its blood.
I was hoping that was out of character.
Certainly a new feature about it.
His desire for snake blood.
I drink the blood of my victims. That's all right. Well, as long as we get there, eventually, Ross, you can cook it from snaking.
Okay, I guess as running away from the river isn't working, I'm going to run back and rejoin the rest of the party.
Okay, you come back and eventually join the party.
should we walk towards the throne?
I will continue towards the throne.
Okay, Calatar, you're already at the throne. You've been there for about a minute or so because everyone else has just sort of run off in the opposite direction. And you can see that there are a lot of people here, all different forms. There are sort of intertwined. The faces some of them look terrified, some of them look resigned. All of them are fairly attractive people. And what you find particularly interesting is that there are 2 leonids, 2 lion-headed creatures that are sat as the armrests, and sort of the face and the mane just sort of poking outwards, as the sort of style, and various faces are just sort of twisted and in position. But they're all very attractive people of all sorts of different races. You recognise elves, humans, dwarves, one rather attractive kobold, which is intriguing for you.
Yes.
Stephen K. was pretty lady.
Okay.
The throne is empty.
Is it raised or is it just?
It is raised. It's on a platform. So it's up the mountain or up the volcano, and then it's got a ledge that is jutting out that is sort of sat upon itself.
Okay, can I start making my way up?
Yeah, you make your way up the volcano.
I'll try and catch up with them.
Sorry.
I'll try and catch up with them.
What did I miss? What happened?
A lot of fit people in this row.
There are some fit people in this room.
Sexy people in this room.
Good to know.
Okay, 2 of you make your way up to the throne, and you can, more attractive people in different positions going up the stairs, or the
More
sides of
attractive people.
Yeah, more attractive.
Are these like noticeably like? This isn't just there's an attractive person. This is noticeably like
All of them are.
Damn, these are all pretty.
All of these are sort of like 8 or higher.
Depends on your scale.
Depends on your scale, but Calatar's scale, which is pretty much 8, which is anything. Anything.
Calatar's scale is binary.
Is it binary though?
Not on a 1.
Oh, I see.
Well, then exactly, it's going to be a scale. Like anyone could be turned to stone.
When you say naught to the 1, is that? No, that's not what you meant.
No.
Women or men?
No. No, and
Both
Yes.
or neither.
Okay. Can I look around the throne? Is there like any sort of doors?
Make an investigation check.
why do I always ask a question that involves a skill check when I'm not looking at the skill check?
Because you've done done.
Oh, pardon me. 18.
18, okay. Look around, there are no secret doors or anything like that. There is just some various bits of creatures that have been stripped down to the bone that have been eaten, and also some eggs that have been cracked. Was it bird eggs rather than snake eggs? Although it's entirely possible that there were snake eggs sort of put in there at some point.
This is out in the open.
Ish, it's on the volcano.
On the outside of the
On a ledge.
On the ledge. Outside. How big is it?
The throne itself, maybe 10 by 10. Yeah, pretty wide.
I was going to say, that big.
Large creature size.
Big, so assuming that either Medusa this big or this is for something else.
Oh, as everyone was walking further away from the ship, Bruce would kind of lie down.
Okay.
Wouldn't touch the ground, but would continue to kind of hover behind.
Okay. Make a wisdom saving first.
Yeah. Hoping that was.
Yeah, because I thought about it. And I thought, no,
Uh-oh.
Thirsty. Thirstiest as you've ever been.
thirsty little bitch.
Dinosaurs always thirsty.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Bruce will fight urge to want to dive into the river.
Okay. They're all just sort of holding off on that urge for the moment. The four of you that are affected, make another wisdom saving throw. So Kalatai, Kafina, Foundling, Leela. So not Kalatai, Bruce.
That's worse.
That's
If
worse.
you're getting the +5,
Nope.
No.
Because Ash has gone off on her own.
17.
Still fails. 8.
3!
Foundling? 15.
Yeah.
Okay. The four of you are still feeling that urge, and it's starting to really start to affect you now. You each take a point of exhaustion.
Sorry, were all of us supposed
Oh, the four that failed.
Oh, I can't.
The four that succeeded are immune. And the small mode, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit,
Small mode.
small mode.
1 point
Split
exhaustion.
screen.
Yeah.
You got it?
Having spent some time with Asha, is
Yes.
her Healy paladin ability similar to Lesser Restoration?
Ish.
This says one condition inflicting it.
It does specify that those conditions are poison.
Oh, it is true. Yes, it does. You were right. The condition being blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. That's fair.
This doesn't count as like a charming enchantment, does it?
Nope.
Damn.
You're just really thirsty.
Would be
I
immune
can't
to it.
even see the river. I've been covered under a cloak on the back of my like tiny elk the whole time.
Does anyone have the ability to detect magic? I just wondered if it might be a good idea to try look at the river. If something is wanting, is trying to make people drink it, just try and find out if there's something wrong with the water.
Yes, I can, because I'm a furbolg. I will cast detect magic.
Okay, that's detect magic. Look around. There is a general magical aura that is around this, that's sort of in the air. It's a very faint one. It's sort of like it's being caught in the very fine particulate that sits in the air. That is of an enchantment nature.
So it's in the air.
There's a sort of a vague. There's a vague haze. Well, you don't know whether it's causing it, but you just recognise a little like haze that is.
And the river, does the river look like it's... Does the water look magical?
There's an element of transmutation magic that is coming from the river.
Okay. There is...
Leela's learning goblin.
There is magic all around us, you see, but also there is magic all around us and in the river.
Can anyone else dispel, or shall I just start throwing dispel scrolls at it? I've got 4 of them.
I feel like you might need a
Will it be powerful enough?
target as well.
I mean, Tug of the Water. I don't know if it'll be powerful enough. It's a pretty basic when it comes from a scroll, and I don't know the spell myself. So if I try to cast it, there's a chance I'll just cause an explosion.
I don't think you can target a river. It's like there are philosophical things about, you can't cross the same river twice and stuff.
Why don't
Meaning a spell on some water that will have gone before it takes effect.
Why don't one of you just test drinking the water before the others do, and then we only have one problem to deal with potentially.
I will ready one of the. Didn't we buy some oils of something or other?
Yes, the oils of something or other. Fixes all ailments.
Wasn't it oil of blue
Willow shade oil. I have 4 doses of willow shade oil. I will ready one of them.
Okay, you've got one of those ready. What was that?
I said Cruce dives, and Laura goes, "I'll poke the river with a stick."
Okay, are you diving into the river?
Yeah.
Okay, you dive into the water. You poke it with a stick. It feels like water.
Okay.
You take the stick out.
There goes my theory.
Still a stick. Well, the problem is the stick you're poking it with is stone, so you would have poked it with some stone. Yeah,
That's fine, but that's not the problem I have with this.
Swoops in, takes kind of a mouthful of water.
Make a constitution saving throw.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
We're getting our answers.
Because
In the water.
Guys, we're doing science.
6. 6.
Oh no!
Roll a 3. You drink the water and it soothes the urge to drink.
Yeah.
You have no desire to drink anymore.
Yeah.
However, you murder everyone. No. However, as the water flows into your system, your vision starts to blur a little bit.
Yeah.
You start to feel something coursing through your body, just intense stomach cramps.
Yeah.
You are poisoned for the next 8 hours.
Okay. That's not quite what I was expecting. So.
And you turn stone and die. No. So you are poisoned in the next 8 hours.
Okay.
I will end this poisoned effect.
You don't know that he is poisoned.
Is he not purple and writhing in agony right now?
No.
I mean, at least he might be writhing in agony.
Is he hurting? He's possibly writhing.
There's stomach cramp.
I think.
I don't really think I have to be some sort of medical physician to know that Birdman drank from river, now is in pain. Probably shouldn't have drank from the river.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's a poison. It could just be bacteria.
Disease. That's what my healing
No, the poison. It's a poison.
Turns out this isn't a river. This is just part of her plumbing, where like the bathroom lets out all the meth.
As you sort of land into doing this whole charade of ANC Zona,
Go flat out French and start. Oh no, it's presenting. Be over dramatic.
And Asher sort of turns around to go and assist. You do, Keltar, see a figure, and the Pat Sentry could as well, and Lara, because Pat's perception high. A figure coming up over the top of the lip of the volcano.
What's that?
A large. It is a monster. It is a monster.
I will avert my gaze.
And you see it as well.
Thank you, I just want to be included.
Drink the water, then you'll be included. But you see this form coming over, and the brief glimpse you have of it, you are a good distance away from that, so it's not too bad. Is of a humanoid torso with sort of cracking grey skin at various points, a mass of writhing snakes within the hair, green snakes, and the lower torso, its own serpentine body. As she slithers her way down to you, all sort of avert your eyes.
I'm saying, don't like the fuck no. Bad things happen.
Nope.
Right.
Probably staying at the river. Okay.
I'm just gonna. I'm still under my cloak, so I'm still not seeing any of this. But I've heard water splashing, and I'm afraid. Can I just quickly try to dispel magic scroll on myself?
Okay, you cast the spell magic on you. Make a charisma check. Actually, no. This will be ability modifier plus. I think it's plus. No, it'll be just D20 plus 3. I think it is for a dispel magic scroll at base level.
Oh yeah. Oh no, 9.
9. Nope. Cast it upon yourself. The spell scroll goes. Does nothing.
How far away is she?
She's now at this point about 20 feet from Kalatar. Everyone else is.
Oh.
Everyone else. Yeah, she's coming down.
Oh yeah, no, but I didn't realise she was now that close.
Oh, she's moving. She's moving towards you.
I walk up to try and be side by side with Kalatar.
As you're leaving Bruce alone.
Yeah,
Okay.
I said I'd put some healing hands on him, but
Yeah, but you've got to get down to him and then come back up to get to Kalatar. So this is all.
oh, I thought we all went to the bloody watering hole.
No.
How do I
you-
know he's poisoned then?
You and Kalatar were up. That was what I was saying!
Then
Fuck's
he
sake.
dies alone.
But Connor, you don't
Connor.
have to be physician to see really far away that someone's drunk.
Connor. Rolling D20 and a 5.
No, roll it.
Initiative.
Right, Connor's going on mute.
What's new?
I'm up with Kalatar, then Cruz can die alone.
Okay, fine. Yes, Laura.
I have a sustenance blood infuser which says you do not require liquid water to survive.
Yes.
So that wouldn't make a difference to the that wouldn't make a difference to her needing to drink water.
Girlfriend.
No, it does not. She's still. It's a psychological effect. It's not. It's not a
Okay.
physiological one.
That's fine.
You're not dying. You just think you're going to.
Smashing.
But there's Asher and Kalatar standing up there. Everyone else down on the ground level, eyes averted. She moves down, moves around the throne, and sits upon it. So, you are the ones who want to parley.
We are. I must say, even from a distance, you have such beauty. I wish that
As a snake comes down and just sort of grazes under your chin and up your cheek.
I only wish that I could actually kind of, gaze upon your beauty without suffering the fate of those around us.
Oh, you can look all you like, sweetie.
Oh, this river song just came.
That's what I'm going with.
Early as hell as well.
Don't want to look.
Oh God, what's pun Ross doing?
Don't vote for it.
I know I want to trade for information.
There it is.
Hooray!
I won't look.
Hmm. Just don't look. Just don't look.
As Matthew tries to remember why we're actually talking to this person, because Kalatar would. We feel that there is a certain amount of knowledge that is, how can I put it, locked away maybe on this island, and we were hoping there would be an opportunity for us to try and discover it, shall we say.
What knowledge is it that you see?
we are looking for ways to slow down a group of people known to some of us as the Order of Balance, but known to others as the Cloak of the Void.
Yes. I remember their emissaries coming across to my island a decade ago.
So this plan of theirs has been in the pipeline for quite a while.
Oh yes. As far as I can understand it, they sought to bring the planes here and begin anew.
That is certainly our understanding of what they're hoping to do. Obviously, I'm kind of opposed to that because that kind of leads to them killing all of us and completely starting again. And I don't know about everyone else here, but I quite like my life and I'd want to keep it.
But you snakes just moving around. None of you can see this, of course. You just sort of see shadows moving on the ground. It's really disconcerting. One of the snakes just sort of creeps up under your hand and sort of brushes on your nose. Ah, but sweetie, you have not understood how those of this world have been affected by the gods.
And I'm sure that there are people out there that are willing to enlighten myself. But I feel if I could find what information I can, then I feel that if it comes to an argument, it can at least be balanced.
Why should I provide you with this information?
No, why should she?
When I am one who would see the gods punished for their treatment of me and my ilk.
Can I lean in and whisper to Kelatar
You can.
and just say, if we die, she dies too. The whole thing goes bang.
Yeah.
She would actually get to see the gods be punished.
What's that, sweetie? Do you not want to share with everyone?
Oh, well, I was just using him as a conduit, as he is a better wordsmith than I. As to not upset you.
Words are not everything when it comes to dealing with creatures and individuals.
Ross.
Yeah.
I merely said to him that you are too part of this plane, this world, and they seek to completely destroy it, which would mean you wouldn't see the gods punished, you would perish alongside them.
But you see, as a pair of snakes just come and just start stroking against the side of your face now, Asher. I am immortal. I will be reborn and rise from the depths of Tartarus.
But isn't Tartarus another plane? It wouldn't exist.
Tartarus exists as what you call the abyss, or a layer of the same.
But you wouldn't then have your lovely home here within this volcano. You'd be in a completely different place.
I can find a new home.
I'm sure you can.
Can we all hear this?
Yes.
I'm still completely covered, like
Mhm.
Hood thing.
Yeah, no, I understood.
If the gods are killed instantaneously, is that them really suffering or just disappearing? I mean, if you want them to suffer, don't you need them to live through the suffering?
The snakes sort of come off Kalatar and Asher, and just sort of feel them just move away from you as the attention is seemingly moved from you towards Kafina. Ah, dark elf. The gods exist as people remember them. As people forget, they fade away. So they will survive the cataclysm.
But you say you were being reborn. Does that not mean you will remember?
People do not remember me the same way as the gods are revered. I just am. I am here with my garden, with my delights. You just hear the scrape of long nails on stone, just...
Tell me, oh beautiful one, why do you feel the need to take the most beautiful person you can come across?
Because I am an artist. I capture beauty in the form that I see it, much as the singers sing a song of what they perceive, and the artists of the paints capture things in oil and canvas.
It's an interesting take.
So, you know there is beauty in this world. How can you be sure there will still be beauty if it is destroyed and something replaces it?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh God, why me?
Because you hit on her point of interest.
Persuasion -1 and at disadvantage because of exhaustion.
Yep.
I'm sure you do great.
I believe.
Well, it's Dom. Either he crits or he gets a crit, or he gets 1 or a 20 basically. So
Either a crit or a crit.
I got a 9.
9, okay. Because if I exist, then beauty shall also rise. These creatures here are not all from the same plane of existence.
but wouldn't you lose your current collection?
Make a persuasion check, Cedric.
Yay! -1. Let's roll. 17.
17.
Ooh.
It wasn't with disadvantage as well. So
That is a good point. I do have a fondness for that I've collected in the millennia here.
But I must say, it is a rather excellent collection.
Why, thank you.
There were many people within it that I thought, she's chosen well.
Yes, and all have their stories behind them.
But, you know, once this is all over, I would love to hear about every single one.
Make a deception check.
I don't know. If she helps, he probably would.
Yeah. Is it deception? Are you lying or is it? No. Okay. No, in which case, make a persuasion check.
I'm trying to get on her good side.
Yeah, make a persuasion check.
Like saying that, it's a much better modifier. 31.
Okay.
Even Laura believes.
God. Well, gaze upon this. The twins of the Leonids, the first of their race that came here.
I lift my eyes ever so slightly just to see them, and
You see the two lion heads that are engraved. You can just see her hands just sort of breaking around the snakes, just writhing over the tops. They were the first of their kind to be here. Proud, strong, and beautiful. It is why they have a place of special interest to me here.
I don't think I've ever seen such a creature before, nor have I seen such beauty in one stone place.
What is it that we can offer you in return for this information?
She looks around, and you sort of see the shadow on the ground, just looking around at each of you. I will provide this information to you. If one of you remains here in my guard.
What information will you be offering?
I will provide the riddle spoken by the Pythia. Yes, I did speak them.
Yes. No.
The Pythia who once resided here to reverse what has been expanding on Fiaros.
Seems a fair deal.
So one of us needs to.
Yes.
I'm not out of character.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were sacrificing
Shark! Shark!
Me! Looking round in the statues,
Yes.
is it all? Were they all living things?
They seem to be. None of them seem to be in pain or with grief.
No, I
gaseous
didn't
wounds
like.
or-
They've been
They're
sculpted.
not. Yeah, they're not items. They're not
people. That
things. They were living and breathing.
Seems to be that these are petrified creatures, as far as you can tell from what's going on here. But there are signs of carving that has been going on some of the petrified trees. That there's sort of chisels and such that have been used to sort of make engravings upon the trees themselves.
So the question is then, which one of us is wanting to?
Could I make a counter offer?
You can try, hidden one.
You said you want the gods to be punished, and seeing as we're pretty much trying to undo what your original punishment for them is, surely a better replacement would be to have us punish the one particular god you would like us to punish, because I don't know why you'd want all of them to punish it. If I remember the story correctly, it's only one goddess that did this to you.
No, it's.
Make a persuasion check.
Why did you go?
I roll a 5, but I'm pretty sure I've got awesome persuasion plus 12, so 17.
17. Tempting. How would you punish the one that did this to me?
While this is going on, I'm like looking in Foundling's direction. Like,
I'm now torn between diving into the river to slake my thirst and punching Kathina.
Why am I in trouble? I just tried to talk her down from keeping one of us here.
you're gonna kill Foundling's god.
I didn't. Hey, I didn't say kill. I said punish. Okay. Well, what about I just turn some of their followers? You don't know what the punishment is.
It's not like you can just ground her.
This is not happening in conversation. The question was asked, how would you punish her?
What would you like to do? I mean, we don't have amazing means. I don't even know if we'd be able to destroy a god, but there must be some sort of payback we could get for you. You know, I don't know what you've been here for a millennium. Have you thought of anything you'd like to happen to them that's within the reach of people like us?
So many things that could be done to Athena. None that you could accomplish unless you eliminated her from all memory.
Don't think we can do that. And I just realized this would have been the perfect time to have the Cedric simulacrum around, because it's like, if we need to leave someone, we might as well leave the person that it's only existed for a week.
I think she'd see through that.
Are you saying that Cedric's not beautiful?
I would say that she would know it's simulacrum.
Yeah.
But then she's being pretty, bigoted.
There's a lot of lost in character discussion happening and characters at this moment.
How much do you know about the fact that if you look at Medusa, you turn to stone? I'm guessing she picked it up.
It's been told, yeah. It's been discussed in the last couple of days.
Would she know that if she could look through the camera on a drone, would that work? Or does it have to be direct?
You look at the camera of the drone. You can try.
But is she gonna
Make a religion check or history, whichever's best for you. No, she's an arts class. She's covered. Yeah, I know.
Oh, sorry. Let's go history. That's 27.
27, okay. You do know that it's direct eye contact that is the thing that petrifies
So,
them.
okay.
Creepy.
What?
Creepy. One of the creepy brothers, isn't it, in Chamber of Secrets, that looks through his camera and doesn't get petrified? Colin. Yeah.
Colin, yeah.
It's kind of creepy, isn't it?
Well, it's a basilisk, so I wasn't sure if you were going to be pedantic about it. But
Similar thing. But anyway, similar effect. It is direct eye contact that is made, which is why people have in the past used reflective shields or reflective surfaces.
yeah, that's what I thought, because the camera isn't a reflection. It is looking through something to look at it, so I wasn't sure if that would...
Yeah, let's have a look, because that's the scrying spell, isn't it?
Yeah.
While this is going on, Ash is going to turn her back to the Medusa. And start to take off armor.
Okay.
And just start sticking it into a bag of holding.
Yeah, that's it.
Kind of starts to avert his gaze to watch.
I'd say, yeah, you could look through you think that looking through the camera on the drone would work. It's a magical connection. You're not actually making eye contact yourself.
I'm going to try and take a stab. Let's throw this. Fuck it, let's do this.
Okay.
So, is anyone finished? Are we finished?
Ash is taking off her armor.
Okay, she's doing that.
I'm surprised you were taking off the armor, not just putting it in the ring.
Oh, well, you can take it off that way, and then I'm just taking off items and armor.
Okay.
Okay. Wait. What she's looking down. Excuse me, your lovely lady. I see that in your beautiful garden you have many statues, many things, many creatures that have lived before and now live here and graced your glorious presence. But what I do not see is something of other to that I find beautiful. If you do not mind, please may I show this to you?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh.
With advantage, because, well, a disadvantage because you're exhausted. So straight roll. No, it's a straight roll. First roll.
It was
6. 6. What do you find beautiful, Goblin?
I believe that there is beauty in more things than that nature has created, for instance. And she pops out her drone. And she uses it to look at her.
Okay, you look upon her. You can see this snaky visage just now looking between you and the drone.
And the drone kind of gently move about.
So she
show what
follows.
it does.
She follows it. You can see a lot of the snakes on the head, sort of like a dog when you've got a tennis ball, just sort of going.
Can I assume from her reaction that is this something she might have seen before?
She does not. No, not from that reaction. She's just sort of looking at it. Doesn't. She seems interested.
Okay. Through this creation of mine, I am able to lay my eyes upon you in a way. I, as an artificer, this is my craft. This is something that I find incredibly beautiful. How the world has taught me to make something so unique, something so powerful and yet so delicate. This is something that I have not seen in your garden before. This is something that you, a creator, a collector of arts and collector of things throughout the millennia, this could be a great addition to your garden, and I will happily give this to you as a gift for your help in return.
Make a persuasion.
No! Can I take my second roll that I just did?
No, because you're at disadvantage. What's she roll?
Watching the bloody thing.
Is it a 1?
Yeah.
It is interesting to see the works of another artist. But no, my medium is stone, not steel.
You could turn me into stone if you wanted to. By all means, take it. I don't mind. You may do whatever you want with it.
Looks at it.
Very well. You can leave it there by the trees and the squirrels.
In return for your information.
No, as a gift.
Don't want to anger her, but I did say that's part of the bug. That's the trying to.
Well,
Sense hesitation, darling.
Oh, God. Okay, fine. Okay, she lowers it over by the tree.
Okay. Just sits there.
well, I personally think this is quite an easy option. I have lived nearly 2 lifetimes now. I've lived, loved, lost, found love again. I personally think it is my time to go.
Don't you fucking dead. That Skeletor is Matt. Both. Not Chris, he's not French.
I've been on my last try for many months now.
You would like that, wouldn't you, Asha? For us all have to explain to you, Uala, why you have not come back with us.
She would need never know.
She's in the keep.
Yeah, you don't have to go back.
Wow, ghosted.
Cool. I'll use that room once.
And not even for what it was intended for.
The slightly pained voice of Cruz will say, how this hurts so much, the poison. Voice, it hurt. I think Asha makes a very valid point. However, I think she is far too special to this group. I don't think she could leave. Someone like me, on the other hand, who has only been here for however long it's been, time is just kind of a strange concept at this moment. I think it makes more sense if I was the one to stay here, so that the rest of you can leave.
was tasked to protect this group.
Do you
I
want
cannot
someone?
just
long
allow
as you-
this. If one must give themselves up, we should at least draw straws for it.
Can I just throw in one more solution, which maybe means none of us have to sacrifice ourselves? What if I could give you a stone statue of any form you liked, so long as it's less than 5 feet?
Or, I mean, that's cool, Cedric. Or, I mean, there's plenty of awesome statues in different places. All we'd have to do is nick
We
one.
could bring one back as well.
Yeah, I was about to ask, is she wanting someone to stay for companionship or just another statue? Because if you just want another statue, we can get you statues.
My feeling is that part of the value of the lady's collection is the knowledge that they were not always stone.
But she was saying that all of them have a story behind them, and this could be another story for her.
But that it was robbed.
If it was robbed, or if we created one, there would still be a story of these peculiar people coming to our island and offering her statues.
I think one that is created rather than robbed has a better story than.
Cedric, Asher, and Cruz, all of you make persuasion checks.
Oh God.
I will use my channel divinity.
Yeah.
Can I guidance myself?
Sure, you can give yourself a prayer to.
Can I cry?
You can.
Because my bonfire is.
It won't help, but
Okay.
a single tear goes down your feathers. You're at disadvantage because you're exhausted.
Oh, that's such a good roll. No, it
I don't
wasn't.
think I'm going to beat Asher, but
Cedric,
20.
natural or unnatural?
No, just 20.
Okay. Cruz,
7.
Asher,
29.
Oh, fucking
She has chosen to give herself willingly. I will not begrudge her sacrifice.
You might not, but we would.
You can say your goodbyes, chosen of Odin.
And Asher, what should we tell Nuala?
That I fell in battle, and that I am now sitting alongside Odin.
Static's back again.
I mean, we're friends with a king. Surely we can just go take someone out of the prison and bring him here, right? Like, come on, there's got to be someone else we can leave. Anyone else? We got 2 people back on the blimp that we could leave.
Unfortunately, guys, I think this has been coming for a while. And when we left for this place, we knew that someone was possibly going to have to stay.
Do not like it.
Sure.
But
This isn't some sort of misplaced guilt over Vesset, is it?
Not at all. I do this purely because I believe that you all can complete this mission with or without me, and all you need is the information that she holds.
I'd like to insight check that.
Make an insight check.
Terrible. 11.
Gonna pass my bag of holding over to Cedric. That couldn't go wrong at any point.
So what was the roll there? I missed it.
Sorry, 11.
11. She seems to be sincere in what she's saying to you. This is possibly the most open you have seen Asher for a very long time. She seems at peace.
As Asher passes the bag over, I should say, Asher, are you sure that you want to do this?
Of course.
Do I believe her?
Make an insight check.
I'm not even going to insight. I could, but I'm not going to.
25.
25. You believe her. This is a sacrifice that she feels she has to make.
If Ash, yeah, I mean, for Cedric, if Ash is lying at this point, then something's gone really, really wrong anyway. So
Yeah, Cedric, your passive insight is just this is as solid as you have ever seen Asher, in terms of her resolve and her determination. This is a choice that she makes.
Is there anything you would like us to do? Obviously, we can pass a message to Nuala, but do you have any other requests?
Just don't let it be in vain. If you've ever needed any reason to fight, make it because I did this at least.
I promise that I will do everything in my power.
And I believe you.
I'm going to hug Asher.
I hug her back.
I think this is right, but you obviously believe it is. And I'll honour your decision, even if I don't agree with it.
I respect your resolve there. That's exactly what I needed to hear. And it's not farewell. As intimidating as she is, you can always come by and see me.
I'm going to instruct Bink just to walk up to Asher, and when Bink stalks, I'm just going to go, Asher, if you're there, can you please hug me?
I lift her off of Bink.
Yeah.
She's crying so much right now.
Lift it.
All as she used to be.
Right then. I hope she's not lying. I slap Kalatar's ass and then turn around and dead-eye the Medusa.
Okay, and as you do, you feel her gaze lock with yours. If this is the time, Matthew, if you're doing anything or not.
I am
No.
so tempted.
Decide now or not.
No, I've got it.
Okay. As
Just reach into my pack, reach around, grab a dagger, and just thrust into the Medusa.
Make an attack roll. Make an attack roll.
God damn.
I can't let.
Can I catch it? Him?
No, he's stabbing. It's a physical stab.
You can't let that ass go, can you, Kalatar? Hey.
Oh, come on.
What do you do?
I critted.
This Kalatar.
Yeah.
Just boom. Roll damage. Oh fuck.
Eight. So technically it was a 27 to hit.
Okay. And that's where we're taking a break. Holy fuck!
Dude.
Yeah, okay. That happened. We'll pick that up when we come back in 15 minutes. We'll see you then. Holy fuck!
Oh, shit.
And we are back. So, with that decision, everyone roll initiative.
Here we go. Oh no!
Oh, now I roll high, for God's sake.
Don't forget, Leela, Foundling, Kafina and Cruz have disadvantage.
Yeah, okay, fine. That's more like it.
You had to say that, didn't you?
I did, yes. That is literally my job here.
So Bruce has advantage. So
Yeah.
Is it advantage?
yeah, yeah. Ooh, I went very
Oh, where's my bastard initiative? There it is. Cool.
right near the top of the page. There.
It is, to be fair, in her case, it is a bastard initiative. 25 to 20 or higher.
21.
24.
Whoa. So you were 21.
22 for Bruce. Ash was 21.
Ash was 21.
Cedric was 24.
24 Lyra as well.
Lyra was 24 as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was that.
Five.
And then it was Cruz was 21, yes?
Yeah, no, 22.
22. So
Ash
ahead of
was
Asher. Okay. And what was Kalatar? Was that not Kalatar? Yes. 20 to 15.
17.
17 to Kina, that goes after her. 15 to 10.
I deserve this.
Leela, what was your initiative?
3!
Oh, I beat that. I got an 8.
8 for Foundling. Kalatar?
9!
Okay, so Kalatar then Foundling.
My last.
You are last, yeah.
I love being last. Great.
I
Get to see what everyone else does first and just heal them.
deserve to be at the end of the
Lyra, what's your dexterity modifier?
+4.
Can you roll another d20 for me, please?
9.
Okay, but you go ahead of the Medusa, because you also got a 24.
Yeah.
And has a dexterity of +4, but I rolled a 3. So
Whoops.
I guess top of the round is Lyra.
So hang on, sorry. Has Kelatar?
Kalatar has stabbed, so the thing you've just heard a of pain.
So Kelatar's the red circle, is he?
No, Kalatar's the yellow one.
And, right, which one am I again?
You are
Of course. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And this is uphill for the record. And this is a slight ledge, so to get up here, that's about a 15-foot drop between the yellow line here and then the square below it.
Okay, so I'm going to move and use my bonus action to dash to get to Kelatar.
Okay.
Get Gallifar.
Just kill him.
10, 11,
Lyra.
12, get you there.
I mean, no, probably not there. Probably down the ledge from him.
Oh, I see. Underneath him, here.
Yeah. And then what I'd like to do with my action is grab him and pull both of us away.
It's a 15-foot height difference.
15 feet.
Yes.
How did he get up there?
Kalatar was always there. He was always there. He was looking at the throne.
But how did anyone get up 15 feet?
Because it goes up a regular gradient here. It's 15 feet between, as I just said, and Matthew will nod at this because I did say it. This yellow line is 15 foot above everything else below it. But on this side is a shallow gradient because it's still going up to get up to this ledge.
Well, in that case, I won't do that because pointless.
I assume at the start of your turn you averted your gaze. Or were you looking fixed at Kalatar?
Anything that needs rolling a dice, so far I didn't. Sorry, that completely changes what I don't know what to do in that case.
You can use your action to dash as well, and with your bonus action dash to get you got here. So you got within melee of him. Yeah, but it's still 15 feet height difference.
With my bonus action, I can get all the way up to there.
With your dash, your movement got you to here.
Okay, I'll go there, and then with my action, I will try to push him off the ledge.
Okay, make a strength. Both of you make contested athletics checks. Oh, this will be funny. Which Kelton does have half proficiency too, because.
23.
Okay, so you go with your first shove to hit Kalatar, and he's still got the dagger defiantly into her. You can use your second attack to do the same again if you wish.
Yeah, I'll try again.
Okay. Again, shove.
18.
Same. Kalatar meets the DC, so nothing happens.
I thought there would be a kind of meet from the attack point of view.
So I suppose, yeah, you're setting it as an armor class. So, yeah, okay. So you shove Kalatar 10 feet. You fall down here, fall prone, and take 10 points of bludgeoning damage as you land on your back. I roll 2 5s.
Okay, fair enough.
10 points of damage? Yeah, because you've also fallen a bit of a distance.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Land on the back. Probably roll a little bit, so you're probably a little bit further down the hill. Okay, anything else?
No.
As action, bonus action movements. It's now Medusa's turn.
Oh, goody.
Uh-oh. She's going to...
No respect. No respect for the arts.
And she's going to slither her way past. Oh, dear.
Sorry, we don't get political here, guys.
No. Slithers past and drops down towards Kalatar. So Asher and Lyra, you do get attacks of opportunity if you so choose.
No.
Nope.
Fair.
Nope. Okay.
I'm not gonna.
Probably wise. She is going to use. She's going to first of all constrict you.
Yeah.
As the sneaky tail comes around you, you are prone, so advantage.
Yeah.
That is a 22 to hit.
Yeah. I say I regret nothing. I regret nothing.
16 plus 6, 22 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled and restrained.
Okay.
You're currently restrained. Yep, put that on you. So you're grappled and restrained. She's then going to make a claw attack on you.
Yep.
Which is a 29 to hit.
Yep.
For plus 6. 13 points of slashing damage. And 5 poison. And then she's going to snaky hair you.
Snaky hair?
Yep. She makes 3 attacks. One with her claws, one to constrict, and one with her snaky hair.
Does any of those count as a melee weapon?
The claw. Well, not. It's a melee attack, so the claws are. I guess technically the snakes are. Why?
It's just I can do kind of damage back if I'm hit with a melee weapon attack.
I'll say yeah, it's her claws are a weapon, sure.
Okay. In which case, she takes 8 points of radiant damage.
Oh, yes, remember your items.
Yeah.
Is this your reaction, or is it just a?
You gain resistance to radiant damage, and when you are hit with a melee weapon attack, the creature who attacked you takes 1d10 radiant damage. So it's not even a reaction; it just happens.
Okay, so in which case you'll have a good hit with the snaky hair.
Go for it.
Which is an unnatural 20 to hit.
Yep.
So you take. That's awful damage. Oh yeah, sure, that works. Better. 23 points of bludgeoning damage, bludgeoning damage from the snaky hair. Just
I think you said it was awful.
yeah, I rolled a 1, a 3, and a 4, and then another 4 or another 8 on 4d12.
Ah, fair. She takes 2 points of radiant
2 points of radiant damage. Okay, so there's another flash of divine energy that bounces off your wonderful, wonderful cloak.
Yeah.
That will end her turn.
Yeah.
Cedric. You stand next to Asher. You're going to have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're going to have to dash. In a straight line or just movement? Movement is 60 feet. Okay. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is there. Okay. Fabulous. Okay. Okay. So we'll say that you are now staring at the Medusa. Luckily, it is staring at the Medusa at the start of her turn when it takes effect. So you're okay for the moment. However, at the start of your turn, we'll say that you're not averting your gaze because you have to look specifically at her. All right. That ends her turn. Brings us to Cruz.
Yeah.
Who is over here by the water.
Yeah, he's going to fly. He's going to fly over to Skeletor. Would he be able to kind of know where Skeletor is because he probably saw him fly?
Oh yeah, he's just seen the. And then he's still visible. His head is still visible in the thing that splashes on. Yeah, he's averting his gaze.
It's difficult to explain. Would he be able to go to where he knows Skeletor is because he's just seen him fly, but then could have still averted his gaze when the Medusa kind of came?
You can be averting your gaze and sort of be aware of where he is. Yes, Laura.
I thought she had to make eye contact with you.
No.
It's a creature that can see Medusa's eyes.
So, if that is the case, I would like to do that.
Okay, you can get there. Your past perception is good enough that you can sort of fly up to Skeletor, who is currently wrapped up in greenness.
Stabby.
Make an attack roll.
First with the sword, and then offhand with the dagger.
Okay.
So sword.
Disadvantage, remember, because you are averting your gaze.
Good boy. Exactly the same roll, so that's fine. And then stabby, the dagger. Oh, I want to waste some crit. So the sword is a unnatural 20 hits, and the dagger then is a 16
misses.
Cool.
So you get the first striking with the sword and cut across her body. No sneak attack, but you do add that she is vulnerable to this damage.
So it is 1d6, 1d8.
Which weapon is this? The spear or the sword?
The sword.
Which sword?
Sword of blasphemy.
Gotcha.
But it gets a d8 because of the armor.
Yeah, I'm with you because it's a short sword.
15.
15 points of damage. Have you doubled that? So 30.
30, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
As you stab into her with the life-stealing sword, you feel it cut through the skin. You just see cracks start to appear across the various points of the scales. It is very disturbing. And Asher. Oh, sorry, the real action bonus movement. Yeah, that's done.
That's everything. Yeah.
Asher.
I'm gonna walk up and just try and get the Medusa to stop.
Are you averting your gaze?
No.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
28.
You're fine.
And just try and explain that they're all emotional. It's not. They're only doing what they think is best. But you need to stop everyone.
Make a persuasion check.
I still get my advantage. So.
You're trying to vent yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, it lasts for 10 minutes. 27.
Okay.
That is all.
All right. It would be the lair actions.
It would be, however.
I'm going to hold off on that. Kafina.
So I'm guessing I'm hearing combat, so the cloak over my head is a dumb idea. Is there a clear way for me to say shoot a beam of sunlight without hitting my allies?
Not the one that's restrained by her.
Huh. That's a thing. That's a good thing.
You've also just heard me as well.
Yeah, you have just heard Asher yell, "Stop."
That's the thing. All right. Shit. Fine. I'll move further away and put the cloak back over my head.
Which way are you moving?
Away, like south from our perspective. Yeah, further away. Like back. I'm guessing that's back towards the ship.
Yeah, the ship is sort of just off the edge of the map here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Ash is saying to stop, so I guess I'll wait.
Okay.
Not holding an action or anything. I am genuinely listening to Asher.
Okay. At this point, a serpentine-like creature starts to rise up, both from the magma and from the water. A dark green, or pair of dark green snakes appear from the water, and one made completely of lava and magma just slither their way out. But Medusa raises her hands and says, "Wait." They sort of, you can just see them glaring, looking hungrily at their intended targets. Kalatar.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
Yeah. Wow, that came around a lot quicker than I was expecting it to.
It's a lot quicker when no one does anything.
Yeah, I know.
Did Foundling not have a go?
Foundling's after Kalatar.
Right.
Foundling's got a 9 on initiative. Leela's got a 3.
Can I, and I'm willing to take a ruling on this, can I cast Dimension Door to jump away from the Medusa?
Yeah, where do you want to go to?
Anywhere, maybe.
Just away. Where am I? I'm there. Who's the purple?
That's Leela.
Okay, not there. No. In the sense that
that's that bitch.
If I go somewhere near one of us and the Medusa does continue to follow, I'm gonna go effectively bottom left.
Okay. Here-ish.
There-ish, yeah.
Okay. Are you going on your own, or are you taking someone with you?
No, I'm going on my own.
Okay. You are no longer grappled or restrained, but you do.
Yep.
Poof, over here. The sort of purplish light
Yeah, just
bounce over to the tree line.
away from everything else.
Mhm. Oh, I've got to put statues on there. No, never mind.
And I will then just,
Yeah, the
kind
other
of
statues.
just hold my hands up. I will drop the dagger.
Mm-hmm.
And I will look. I'll be looking straight at her.
Bandling.
Yeah. I've heard the sounds of combat, but then I've heard Asher shouting, like, telling us to stop, and the Medusa going, right. So I'm not going to draw any weapons, or really do anything aggressive. So I guess I'll say I'll take the dodge action, just in case.
Take it as an action rather than as a bonus action, yes.
Good. Yeah, I'll take it as my action.
Okay. Leela,
Okay,
you also had a question.
This is just a very out of question. How do I regain energy?
Long rest, I think.
Long rest, but we had a long rest, didn't we?
You've had a long rest since then, yes. You're back at the full energy.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm not planning to use it.
Something that don't
Automatically reset.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's set as an item, so I couldn't figure out how to do it as a creature ability. Oh, class.
Yeah, so I'm going to basically kind of follow suit with everyone. Where?
Look here. Quite far out of the way, although there is a big lava snake over to your right.
Right. So yeah, she.
And your left.
Oh no, those are venom snakes. That's a whole different thing.
Oh, that's all right.
What's right down at the bottom?
But down here,
Yeah.
that is the tree line.
No, what was in on?
It's.
That's what Kafina's sitting on. Kafina's and her elemental being.
Right. Okay, I'm just gonna back away slowly towards me. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just get out my second drone just so I can see what's going on without risking the chance of looking at her?
Okay.
The drone doesn't do anything.
The second drone comes out. You can still be looking through the first one if you wanted to.
No, I don't want her to think that I'm stealing her gift.
Fair enough. The second drone comes out and just starts hovering, and you're looking at her feet, looking at the floor. Lyra, are you averting your gaze?
Yes, I will avert my gaze.
Okay.
Can I tell whereabouts the Medusa is right now?
Yeah, you're aware that she sort of jumped down, and she is. You can sort of see the writhing, sneaking shadows in your peripherals. Lyra being as passive said from being what it is.
And who's that down there near her? Do I know?
This one is Cruz.
Is he flying or is he on the ground?
Is he flying or is he on the ground?
Say flying because
Okay.
that's how we got there.
Okay.
So,
He's elevated. But actually, no, I'll make absolutely no difference to anyone. You guys watching it from camera, building top down.
I'm just going to say, stop this. We didn't come here to fight. And I'm not going to do anything else.
Okay. The Medusa is going to straighten up and glare at Kelatar. And also at Cruz, who has stabbed her.
Fine. Remove that one from my sight, and I will honor the deal we made.
I walk away.
Kelatar or Cruz?
Kelatar.
Okay. Okay, you go back to the ship and get back on. Yeah. Okay.
Is this agreeable?
Deal is a deal.
And stand how you wish to be preserved.
Strong, stoic, intensity of smolder.
Make a performance check.
Sure.
You have advantage because it's charisma.
Oh, well, I rolled a 19. Do I crit? I do not. Whatever my performance. It would be a 24.
24, okay. You stand in a smouldering heroic pose, looking off into the distance. A single tear just sort of rolls down the side of your face. You know this is the last time you will see your friends, for a while at least. And the rest of you watch as Ash's body turns to stone. And I'm going to remove the combat cannon, so I don't need that anymore. Sorry, Ross. Big Ross on the internet.
So, if you would prefer to be at a distance from me, then feel free to step down.
Yeah, basically, if you want to get out of the distance with her.
Me too.
Okay. Cruz?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Are you trying to do it stealthily so she doesn't notice? It's like make a sleight of hand check. Ten? Okay. Doesn't seem to notice. Drop a coin and step on it before it makes too much noise and get down from the cliff. She moves her way back up onto the throne.
So, the lessons of the Pythia. To reverse the planar expansion, a prophecy was spoken. To return the planes to their proper place, each of the foes you must face. Conduits of gem at the time of slay, drain the soul to fade away, eternally sealed by inverse force, gathered where the gods of course, taken from 8, a fragment of power, in molten diamond boiled for an hour. Take infused gem into the mold you pour, to defeat your foes 4 and 4.
8 rather than 44. I will send that to everyone so that it's not relying on memory.
Cheers. I think the only one of us that may have been able to remember that would be Tom.
I was just having trouble understanding it. Her voice is really hard to get. So raspy.
Yeah, I'll put that in the chat later.
This is all I know about the reverse. Though you will need diamonds to make each conduit. Approximately 1 cubic foot.
I know where that is.
I would say you're not there, but it's not technically true. You are there, just not fucking helpful.
I'm stood next to the stone, like those force projections from Star Wars. Strike me down, and I will become more powerful than you could ever imagine.
Is that where you got the new robe? Because you're going to be like a Jedi ghost.
Well, I got my new robe. You know what? I've done worse.
In real life.
Yeah. You've seen some of my purchases. I've done worse.
You seem disappointed.
I'm not there. Oui.
It is only knowledge that I know through Epithia. If you want prophecy deciphered, speak to a cleric of Apollo. She will stand as one of my guardians. Place of honor at the throne's side. She deserves as much. She shall come to no harm here. Now go. Unless you have questions.
Going back on the ship already, like I didn't, the moment all that happened, I was like, get me the fuck out of here. So
I'm going to try to break the compulsion of the river and head back to the ship.
Okay. Head back to the ship. Okay. Alright, whilst you think about that one, she does. So,
Bruce has one.
Okay.
How do I stop feeling like this?
Once you leave the vicinity of my waters and land, your body should recover.
Cool. Bye.
Though they got close enough.
And she just points at one humanoid with sort of the robes that you are vaguely familiar with. That has their head sort of poking out as sort of like a footstool at the bottom of her throne.
Yeah, that's one.
And you can see that it has the branding of the multifaceted star tattooed on their forehead. Really, Connor?
You just noticed the name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I just noticed it.
They did ask for knowledge of how to bind creatures to the plane. I did. They were willing to sacrifice and get revenge against the gods. It seems their leaders have a similar grudge. I will. Small one.
Yeah.
You provided me with a gift of mechanical means. Perhaps I should reciprocate. Through the woods, and to the left, there is a device I have no use for. Take it if you wish.
Thank you much. She does a little bow, and then yeah, so she can obviously see where. Yeah. Okay. Attentively. Is that going near the big snake monsters?
Not these two.
I'm not talking to you.
Not near those three.
So it's walking away again.
It's walking into the forest.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going past the blimp a little bit.
But there's just lots and lots of little snakes.
Baby snakes. Which is very unsettling because there are lots of little snakes that are just watching. They're not doing anything, they're just watching. Just a couple like Shere Khan, just sort of.
Yes. She's just kind of hi, gonna get this way.
As you sort of make your way to the area that she suggested, you see a very large iron barrel just sat on its sides. Okay. In the woods.
Okay. What, just like a barrel?
Just a barrel.
As in it's okay. Can I look at it?
Make an investigation check.
Oh my God! No, for fuck's sake, guys! Investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, 12.
Well, okay. You look around and you can see that someone has written in a language that you don't understand in chalk. It's just left a little white arrow pointing down to something. You sort of explore it a little bit, and there's a little catch on this. You do anything with it?
Yeah. Yeah. Boys with the button.
You flick the catch, and the hatch just falls down. You look inside, and there is space for 2 creatures to fit in there. And there are 10 levers set in a row at the far end. Yes, this is what it is.
Okay. How big is it, sorry?
It's a large thing.
Yeah, okay. It's relative to her.
It's relative to her. I mean, she's a medium creature now as a goblin. It can fit 2 medium-sized creatures inside it.
Okay. She can now get inside it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she pulls around inside.
Okay, you pull in. There are levers. 10 levers.
So it's just the levers.
Yes, all sort of in a neutral position. And there appears to be positioning for them to go up and down.
goes for the far left lever and pulls that up or down, whichever.
Oh, actually, no, sorry, they're all down at the moment.
Okay, left lever and pushes it. Is there anything else you can see in there before she pushes the lever?
No.
Pushes the lever.
Okay, push the lever up. And as you do, you just suddenly feel it go and legs sprout from underneath it and a tail pounces out from the back, turning into the shape of a large lobster. Yep.
Oh! Cool!
Yep, that. Exact thing. Yeah, as soon as you started talking, I was like, oh. Yep.
Okay. Can she crawl back out and just look at what's happened?
Yeah, it now has legs and a tail.
Okay, she's a little giddy. She crawls back inside.
Yep.
And pushes another lever.
Which one?
One on the far right.
On the far right, okay. The rear hatch closes and just seals.
Pulls that one down again just to make sure she can get out.
Yeah.
Well,
actually, that one was up to start with, and then it sort of dropped out to allow it to open, and then pulling it down, it closes. And then...
Right. Do I just go through all of these, or do I just say she just keeps trying things?
If you want to try different things, you literally retry next.
Sorry, 10.
There's 10, yeah.
Well, let's try. Okay, right, so I've done 1 and 10, 2.
2, you pull that one, you push that one up, and then you shut it at the front. Opens.
So I can see out now.
You can see out the front, yeah.
Number 3.
Number 3, side windows open.
Number 4.
2 claws extend from the front.
Number 5.
Each of the claws just goes, just snips out and makes an attack. Number 6, it walks forward. Just stops waddling forward.
Okay, put number 6 back into neutral. If I pull that back, I move backwards.
It moves backwards, yes.
Number 7.
7, it turns 90 degrees to the left as you push it up.
And to the...
Pull it down, it turns 90 degrees to the right.
8.
Just...
Yeah, 8.
8. As you push it up, 2 eye-like features on the top just like pop-up headlights and just bright lights come down, and then they just down again.
Yeah, put that back into neutral. Number 9.
Number 9, it just sort of, it looks like it's trying to sink. It doesn't appear to be able to do anything. Okay.
And she basically spends the next few minutes trying to teach it to walk.
Yeah, just working out how to.
Yeah.
So you sort of look. Yeah.
I just love the idea that Medusa is now sat on her throne with an astral statue, and then all of a sudden this thing just.
Yeah, every so often it just walks into a tree, into a stone tree, and it just. If a stone tree falls in a wood, does it make sound? Depends, is a Medusa there to hear it?
Ah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
You wander it back to the blimp?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, she's definitely taking it.
It wanders its way back to the blimp.
Ah, okay.
Is anyone waiting for her?
Yeah, please don't leave without me.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Well, you see this mechanical lobster just sort of plodding its way towards you.
Can I poke my head out the top at all? Is there anything to poke it out?
I mean, there's a window at the front that you can sort of look out of.
Can I poke my head out so that they can see me?
You have to go right to the back and then sort of poke it.
I open the side hatch. I open the side hatch and get out.
Okay.
I just wave. And be like, look what I found. Like, and just kind of like.
Hey, right back.
Yes.
Yes, what she said we can.
I
Not
don't know
Ross.
how to get into the blimp. Although, can the blimp come right down? I could just walk it in.
There is a loading hatch at the back that you can walk it through.
Let's load this puppy up.
Yeah. Just... Probably Fee.
Yeah, Fee doesn't even say anything. She's just walking up to the thing and already got it on for getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's like a headset though. That's the thing. It's not.
Yeah, we like to pretend it is.
Yeah, sure. And she lowers the ship.
Okay, gets loaded and this thing walks into the back.
Guys, you'll never guess what I found. This is what Medusa gave me. Oh my god, look at it. It's amazing. Like, oh, I might have lost a drone and I'm really sad about it. But look at this thing. It's great. Like, I'm going to just be over here if anyone wants me. Kate, thanks.
I just realized something really. Oh, sorry. I was going to say I realized something really funny. Fee hooked up to the ship can feel everything the ship can feel, and you just had a lobster crawl in its backside.
That's not how the ship. You don't feel. Sure, if you want to have felt a lobster crawl up your ass, then you are more than welcome to, Jared. That's the role play you want to do. I'm not going to shame you for it.
I just remember you said last time when it took damage, we could feel it as though it was us taking damage, and so
Damage, yes.
Psychically.
Not a thing walking through an opening that it has. Otherwise, you'd feel every person walking around inside you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So now we are back. I have an idea.
We get into the air first.
We have got the information we came here for. Previously, we've used the tentacles to pick up rocks. Could we fly? I say we fly back over to the clearing and try to steal Ash's back on the way out.
Oh god.
I say we do it.
I'm willing to give it a try.
Not there.
You're on the blimp now. On the blimp now, aren't you?
Yeah, but he's not.
Okay, fine. Kelsar isn't there. Make an investigation check. And make a stealth check.
Stay. I think I've rolled more than that.
You look around the ship, you cannot find Kelsar. Okay. You perceive by investigating that you don't know where Kelsar is.
We need Asha back. I will do what we can to get her back.
I want her back.
I mean, she did kind of give herself up. I think she made the decision on her own. I don't remember her consulting any of us.
Oh boy! This is a session and a half.
Driving.
So who is driving currently? Tafina?
I'll jump in if this is going to happen.
Okay, Leela. And a third?
I'll
It
jump
doesn't-
in. It's my
Okay.
idea.
Family, make an intelligence saving throw. Not going to bother with Kafina and Leela because they're naturally quite good at intelligence saves.
It's a save, so I'm not at disadvantage at least.
No.
Oh, that's a 16.
Okay, you're fine. You managed to connect into the ship. And it's not the first time you've done this. You've done it whilst everyone else was flying, but whilst we were all flying across. But still feels unusual to have Kafina and Leela's thoughts overlapping.
Cool, boy. You're in for a ride.
Oh.
So yeah, back over the clearing and try to
Bear in
get
mind-
the tentacles.
Bear in mind, the tentacles are currently contained because you do have the cover over it.
Yeah, we drop the cover if we use the tentacles.
Would it
We
not
can
Ash,
have one.
Ash is more important than a cover.
Hold on. It is probably around noon.
would it not make sense to leave a short distance and come back rather than attack straight away? Then we can regroup, regather, possibly come back at night. Because otherwise, if we go now, she's already on the alert. She's already suspicious. And those two great big snake things.
But at the minute, she'll be expecting to see the ship.
Not if we blink.
I don't know if that will work because the island moves.
I'm just now thinking of doing it. I'm not even caring about the discussion anymore. My brain is saying go, go.
Yeah, well, you got two people that aren't saying.
I know.
No, I'm saying go.
Yeah, that's
Well, the only one. In which case, the blimp just starts to rotate and starts to move forwards,
Fine.
moving up towards Medusa sat on her throne.
How do we just
Yeah, well, we
send the
can't get
cover?
the tentacles out.
also ready to blink in a moment's notice. The second things go pear shaped.
How do we just send the cover?
Sorry.
There are things that are tying it to the outside,
Yeah, we'd have to set it down. I'd have to go out and untie it.
or you can just try and puncture straight through it with the tentacles.
Okay, no. No, if we need to get rid of the cover, then I'm changing. I say we go off, take a moment to do that, and yeah, come back.
Okay, so you have this thought very quickly as you sort of turn towards it and then you go, no. Wait. So what, are you going up so that you can take the cover off, or what are you doing? Are you blinking, or how are you doing this?
Fly away from the island. I think maybe Leela's right. Wait until night.
Okay.
I'll agree.
Depending on if we can get back. I mean, we don't know how quickly. Can we? How long have we been there?
Less than an hour.
How can Leela tell how far the island has moved?
Make an intelligence check.
Oh, come on, the one bloody thing I'm good at.
Technically at disadvantage.
How did I get 5?
Is it a 4?
Oh, I'm 2. 7.
No, that's you can't figure out. There's not the sky was clear and there was nothing, no particular landmarks around that you could use to measure any sort of distance on.
Okay. The only risk is that we don't blink back to the island specifically because it moves.
We don't
Unless
have
she's in sight, but then she'll probably keep us in sight. So
we don't have to blink away. We can just move away over the sea and keep the island in sight. We're smaller than an island. It should be harder to see us than it is to see an island.
Okay, well,
What, we're going to fly casual?
drive by.
What, roof down, just
Okay, yeah, we'll slowly drive away.
okay.
Lena knows how to do the covers better though, so we should be able to do it quicker, or
Yeah, you can do it easy. It's not that difficult for you to be able to take the cover off. You can go and do it. Does take about half an hour to do so though.
can she do? She can't do it inconspicuously. We're gonna have to wait until we're a bit further away.
You have to wait till you're out of sight because there's a very big difference between going from blimp to
Yeah, yeah. But by that time,
sort of weird hentai thing.
no thanks. Okay.
Ross knows what it is. He's been playing Neverwinter. No, Baldur's Gate, whatever it is you're playing at the moment.
It's full of weird hentai?
No, but it has got the it has essentially got the ship in it, hasn't it?
Don't give the DM ideas.
Please. Okay. So you sort of move away and you remove the cover of the ship. You're just hanging around until it gets dark enough for you to move back in. Okay.
I think that's a good plan.
All right. Are you guys moving up so that you're less visible in the sky?
Probably up and out.
Okay. All right. I would say for the sake of this, make a stealth check for the ship with
Don't pick me
advantage.
to throw. There's two other people flying this thing.
With advantage. So the
I'm exhausted.
yeah, but
Oh shit.
the ship stats. So just whoever's rolling for the ship as I go and look for the stats of the ship.
Okay.
That's a picture of a duck.
And
Not the ship.
that's how stealthy we are. We just
That's
look
a
like a duck.
natural 20 for a duck picture. 13 I rolled.
Okay. With advantage.
Yes.
Okay. -3 for Dex. So it's a 10. It's fine. It's a it's a big thing moving away, so it does move up and out of the visual. So okay. It sort of floats up and out of the way and get the cover off and tuck it back inside and keep it in sight. From this now, Cedric, you're able to sort of keep an eye on the arm and sort of get a rough idea of its trajectory. It is a very slow moving thing. It doesn't appear to be moving much more than a mile an hour. But it is really slow. So with that, you could reasonably, if you sort of follow the trajectory, you could find a spot that you could teleport back to, if you wanted to, or you could just blink in, blink out. Who knows? What is Kalatar doing all this?
Kalatar is in his room, just kind of hiding in a dark room in a corner, no one to be seen.
Okay.
If we succeed in grabbing Asher, we should decide where we're going to. I'd say back outside the keep.
Agreed.
So good distance away, fairly safe location.
Leader agrees.
I wasn't listening.
I'm sorry, Leela was tinkering with the lobster thing. She got distracted. Sorry, what?
Where they're taking, where you're going after you have teleported. After you've got Asher is going back to the keep.
Oh, right.
Bearing in mind you have to go to a different plane of existence first and then to the keep.
Yes.
We've kept to the void place. What was it called?
The Astral Sea.
Space.
Okay, quick pop into the astral plane and back again. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Alrighty.
We seem to be ready. Do we want to wait till night or go now? Can we see in the dark with this thing?
With the blimp itself, you can't really see in the dark per se, because it doesn't really have its own external sensors, but you can see out of the windows.
Then let's go in. Let's go while it's still light, so we can try to see Asher.
Okay, so what time is it now? Sorry.
Now it's probably about 1-ish.
I was only doing that now.
About an hour or so, yeah.
We could turn around. It's still quite early.
So we could, as the island hasn't moved far, I think it's worth trying to blink there, go grab Asher, and then blink away. Any objections?
Sounds good.
Either?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Let's do this.
So I need Leela, Kafina, and Family, all three of you to make an intelligence check, please.
Oh, at disadvantage, you bastard.
This is trying to adjust for the change in trajectory. It's disadvantage, remember?
Fuck! 16.
Okay, 16 for you. Family?
3.
Okay.
13.
Okay, so 2 of you bluffed, that's fine. There was a majority on this one, just trying to figure it out. So you vanish into the astral plane for a moment, and then a minute later, reappear in the material plane. The Medusa sat on the throne goes, and sees this. Make a dexterity check with the tentacles, all one or all three of you. We'll see. As you'll see, you can do it individually to grab hold of the Asher statue. No, this is the ship.
So it's just roll a die and see.
Yeah.
Why are you making me roll a die? You know how badly that goes for me.
What do you roll? Badly?
17. I actually rolled well for once.
Fee?
12.
Okay, so Kavina and Leela both try and get hold of the same tentacle, and they sort of flail around and miss out. Hanley's grabs around and grabs onto Asher. However, Medusa is going to. Yep. You feel something. You just feel something grab onto you, and as you pull it back and try and move away, Medusa has grabbed on and is making her way up the blimp towards you. Oh! At the same time, you see the magma snake that was there before burst out of the lava pool and fly up towards you, charging towards the ship itself and landing on the balcony.
Cannons.
I go.
Before the thing gets on the ship.
Make an attack roll with the cannon.
Is it just straight roll?
Add 6.
15.
15. I think.
Oh god, it's gonna mess.
That misses, yeah, 17. So as you take the shot with the ceramic cannon, it just
Oh no, it don't matter.
and it flies around and lands on the deck.
Blink out.
Okay, you vanish and appear on this.
Did we have Asher?
You have Asher, yeah, you've got Asher.
Yeah,
You've also
Asher,
got Medusa and
fire snake thing.
We're not in there then.
You're now on the astral plane. Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, you've got a balcony on the front. So you're basically like the deck of a regular ship. You've got like a balcony on the front of it, and then windows.
I want to use the tentacles to bash off the covering that she would be climbing up and over right now.
The cover's off. She's climbing up the tentacle that grabbed Asher.
It's with another tentacle.
She's gonna literally just like jump in.
Making her way up. What are you doing? You have to turn into a beast.
Creature.
A polymorph, yeah. What's your DC? That would be a 14, but you'll use a legendary resistance. Yeah.
She's immortal. So she's gonna have legendary resistance.
You're not, well, you are, man. But again, so that's your first turn. Anyone else that's there doing anything? Family, Leela and Fee, you've done something. So Lyra, you're there, and Cruz. No, you're far enough away at the moment to not need.
Oh.
What's the role for someone who's not anywhere near what's going on if he realises that something stupid is going on?
That in perception, my friend.
That's what I fear. That's what things.
Kelatar just hears a, oh shit!
If I go to the balcony or somewhere, can I be within 30 feet of her?
Yes, you can.
Oh, I can imagine Stumpy still at the top.
Yeah.
And his little friend.
I'm going to give this a try.
Oh no.
Come on, let's go nuts. This is what it's all about, lads.
I'm going to throw my shield at her.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Now I'm going to do it. If she's 30 feet away, presumably I need to avert my eyes, or I'm going to get.
No, it's averting your gaze at the start of your turn. So if you started more than 30 feet away, you're fine. But you move within 30 feet, so.
Okay. So it's a ranged attack, so it's with my dex and I'm proficient.
Yes.
Is that right?
You go rushing forward, grab the shield, and fling it out. Yep. This is not with your advantage for going before a creature has gone in combat.
21.
That hits.
Okay. Now I was hoping to kind of knock her off, but no, it doesn't do that. So 2d8 magical slashing damage.
Okay, roll damage.
Nothing you need to hear.
Talking about you're not two. How much damage? 10.
11.
11. Okay.
And then the shield will come back to me.
Yep. You've got the lava snake that sat not too far away from you, just looking back to you. You've got Medusa crawling her way up there. Is anyone else doing anything in this last moment?
Yeah.
Nothing.
You have taken yes.
The piloty people have taken our thing.
Party, have you taken your thing to teleport cannons, all that sort of thing? Gubbins. Bruce?
Nothing you can do.
Okay.
From this distance.
And I think that's where we're going to pick it up next week. Jesus.
Oh!
That went from one extreme to the other very quickly.
I enjoyed it.
Oh my God. Fuck's sake. Oh, I love this game. I love this game so much.
I enjoyed that.
Oh dear. Right. Yeah.
This is what it's all about. Ride or die.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll pick that up next week. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Keep safe out there,
Probably
guys.
for our last and final session.
Oh, we'll see. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone. Good night.